Hey guys, what's happening? It's Brook Hoover. Let's work on some cool stuff. I would like to work on something called the blues scale. The blues scale is technically a minor scale, but it can work over major chord progressions. So it's really flexible. This is the scale that Jimi Hendrix used on a lot of his songs. And the nice thing about it, the crazy thing about the blues scale is you can use all 6 open strings are in the scale. So technically you could just hit your guitar like this. All open strings and you're in the key. Which is handy if you're on stage and you happen to, want to just make some racket, or you make your hand falls off your guitar for some reason. It's pretty handy. Plus all the harmonics work. Anyway, let's start kind of simple. I'm going to do it on the first string, the high E. I'm going to go open, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 6, 7, 10, and 12. And those notes are E, G, A sharp, B, D, and E. Let's hit each note 4 times. So again, that's open, 3rd, 5th, 6, 7, 10, and 12. I'm going to recommend you memorize that. Open, 3rd, 5th, 6, 7, 10, 12. Let's, so that was ascending. Now let's descend from 12, 10, 7, 6, 5, 3, open. Here we go. Sorry about that. What chord would go with this? What do you think? What would be the most common chord that you would mix with this? Try. I'm going to play the scale and you try some different chords. How about? Just see what you come up with. I'll tell you what I think in a minute. I'm going to go 80 beats a minute. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, what did you come up with for chords? Or a chord? E flat? No. I don't know, maybe. You could do anything really. But the one I was thinking is an E5, which I kind of gave it away. I couldn't help put my finger there before I asked the question. I was thinking about it and I thought, let's not make it too obvious here. That's a low E plus the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Good old E5 rock and roll chord. So, just to give you a little basis of how to frame that chord or the scale onto something, let's do the same scale. This time let's hit each note 2 times. Let's bring in the metronome at 80 beats a minute. 2, ready, go. Now descending. let's do, I think you're probably getting the hang of it. I'm kind of moving a little bit slow here. I don't want to leave anybody behind. Let's do it one note per beat. So we're just going to go open 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. Let's try 80 beats a minute. 2, ready, go. Descending. So hitting that E5 kind of frames the scale. So be ready to hop from the scale to the chord. So that's up and down one string. You might ask, what finger should I use? Let's see. Now, I wasn't really thinking about fingering because basically I'm just moving my hand as I go. But let's just, let me think about what I'm going to do here. I think you can pick your own fingering on that, but one idea I like to do is a 5, 6, 7 with index middle ring coming up, because then you could do something like and down here it feels good to do a ring and index on a 5 and a 3. So now your job is going to be, besides going up and down the scale, go ahead and do that until you've got the scale permanently memorized. But now your job is going to be to make it sound more interesting with some phrases. There's a lot you can do with that. I mean, it's endless. It's really interesting to me. What I was doing there was some pull-offs, like a 5, 3, 0. I was just picking the 5, and then I pull off to the 3 and pull off to the 0. So one pick stroke gives us 3 notes. Or you could do hammer on, do the opposite, which is a hammer on is where you strike the fretted note with your finger. So what that gives us is a legato effect. Legato is where the notes are smoothly connected without a gap between the notes. So legato is a big goal for us to get our playing sounding fluid. So hammer-ons and pull-offs help with that. Let's do some hammer-ons. I'll demonstrate hammer-ons and pull-offs combined. Just having a little fun with that. And now you can actually do the same thing moving up the scale. I'm gonna explore that, and you can try it too. I was tempted, should I bring in the tapping or not? But you know, this is kind of the fun part of what we're working on, is improvising and soloing. So, you know, you can learn a solo from tablature, or you can learn it online, but really the fun part is learning to solo kind of on the fly by the seat of your pants, and that's why we're doing this, so that you can make your own solo. You can be put on the spot and produce the goods. Either you can or you can't. And I want you to be able to do that. Excuse me. I've been called on stage to jump up and sit in with bands at festivals with bands I don't really even know, and I'm like, oh, now Brook Hoover will join the band. I'm trying to sneak out the back door. Brook Hoover, somebody get him. And they drag me out on the stage. I don't want to. I just want to go home. Okay. And I'm like, hey man, let her rip. I don't just go for it. And when it's time to solo, I don't even know the song, but I think I can do it. I'm confident I can jump in with a band and play a solo. With a band I don't know, with an original song I don't know. And, you know, in my studio, when I'm recording, I come up with solos every time I record. And I'm composing on the fly. That's what it is. So getting good at this scale is one of the most common scales. And we can, you know, there's 12 keys and there's many flavors of scales, but this is one of the funnest, most kind of flexible, adaptable scales that I know of. And what you saw me do there was bring in a little tapping with my right hand. What did I do there? I was... I was tapping here on the 12 and doing some pull-offs. My thumb is sitting up here. My pick is in here, and I'm tapping with my index, and I pull off and pull off again. And that's our 12, 10, 7. And those are like fast triplets. So I was just shifting down, and I'm outside of the scale a little bit. Now, understand, when you learn a scale, you don't have to stay in that scale the whole solo or the whole song. You can bring in other notes. So some of these notes are not in the scale, such as this C sharp is not in the scale, but the E and B flat are. And this C is not in the scale. And this G sharp is not in the scale. But it sounds fine. Then I take my thumb and kind of push out. Let's do just a little more of this scale. I mean, I can talk all day about this, but we'll try to edit this down and make it not overly meandering. But here's another position. Here's another way to do the scale. This would be, again, we're going to use these open strings. I'm going to keep it in the first 3 frets. I'm going to play 3 0, 3 0, 3 2 0, 2 0, 2 1 0, 3 0. That's G E, D B, A sharp, A G, E, which you might want to pause on because that's the root. Maybe hit it twice. E, D, B, B flat, A, G, E. I call that either B flat or A sharp. It's the same thing. It doesn't really matter to me which one you want to call it. So I'm going to play it again. There's a couple of bends in there that are really common. On the 3rd string, 2nd fret A. If you hit that and push that way, I like my ring finger there. I'll use middle and index and push with 3 fingers. So there I bent up, let it down, and pulled off. That's a bend up, let down, pull off. So when I pull off, I sort of push away. You have to have a little attitude with that. That sounds pretty cool on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, the G. If you hit that and bend a little bit, like. Or I'm shaking it, I'm kind of quivering it with my arm. Now you're noticing this little scratchy sound in my potentiometer. The more I do this, it should go away, but if it doesn't, we can spray it out with some contact cleaner. So I'm just trying to get that oxidation off of the contacts. But it's not working very well. All right. 2nd string, 3rd fret is a really good one to bend. So experiment with that. That's an open position blues scale. We're in the first 3 frets, or you could call it first position. The advantage is you've got those 6 open strings, and you're right down there ready for your chord. You can do combinations of bends and hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides. The pull-off I was doing was a 3-2-0 pull-off. It's like a combination pull-off. You got three notes produced from 1 pick stroke. So the way you play is going to sound different from me. It's going to sound like you, and that is very cool. So we can expand on this. Really, we can cover the whole neck with the blues scale. Maybe I'll do one more pattern. I hope this isn't too much, but if you can follow along, that would be really cool. I'm going to do a diagonal. I'm going to start on this low E. I'm going to end on this really high E, and I'm going to work my way diagonally across the neck. I'm going to go 0, 3, 5, 6, 7, just like the skinny string. Remember that? Only now I'm going to cross over 1 string to 5, 7. And okay, that's a 0, 3, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7. Next string, okay, I'm going to go over 1 more string to 5, 7, 8, 9, and next string 7, 9. So here's the whole pattern. And 7, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 7, 9. Okay, we're almost there. I think of it in 3 chunks. Like first chunk is this. Second chunk. That's a nice thing about Strat. You can control your volume with your pinky. All right. And your last segment of this pattern is this 9. You go over to 8 on the second string. Same string, 10, 11, 12. Finish on 10, 12. That's 9, 8, 10, 11, 12, 10, 12. And the whole thing together. I mean, it's not the final solo or anything, but it is getting our hands moving. We're in a key, and we're getting some rock moves. So I'm playing a Strat through a orange, what do you call this? Crush 35 RT, and I'm just straight into the amp, and just my hands and the pick, and that's all it is. And lots of practice and timing, lots of dedication and listening. I think you could do very well if you make sure to break up your practice with some scales, arpeggios, chord studies, and then do your songs that you're covering. That's cool. And also be writing some songs. So maybe we can work on songwriting ideas too. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. If you want me to make you a custom video, I will. Contact me and I'll make a video just for you if you have any special questions. All right, this is Brook, and I'll see you around. Keep practicing and keep playing. Take care.